Hey, what's going on, guys? Look, I am. Look, as y'all know, I'm still at the hospital with my daughter, but we still making it happen at the same time. All right. So, so I wanted to come in here and chat about something that I have going on today, this afternoon, and I want to make sure that everybody can tap in. Look, I'm playing around with my settings that are on the video right now, so bear with me just a minute if I'm talking a little slow. I want to make sure that I have this set up right so I can get to the information that I want to share. I'm gonna leave it alone, y'all. Let's chat real quick. Look, so y'all know, if you've been following me, if you're a subscriber, um, you all know my daughter's undergoing a bone marrow transplant. We've been in the hospital for about 2 months now. That's not what I wanted to talk about, though. If you saw me just take my name tag off, I did it for that reason, because it's my hospital name tag. But good morning, y'all. Um, Happy Sunday to everybody that's joining. I wanted to come on here really quickly. Um, I'm sitting outside. I'm in DC, and this is that season change is happening right before our eyes. And I like to come out of the hospital to get a little bit of fresh air. And this time of year when this season is changing, hey, it get a little, you might walk outside and get a little surprise. And so I didn't know what I was going to get when I walked out here, but it's actually beautiful. It's about 60 degrees. I told some people yesterday, when you've been dealing in summer and it's been 75, 80 degrees, and then you come out and it's 60, the drop in temperature alone will have it feeling like it's wintertime. All right. But look, that's not what I wanted to talk about. If you paid attention to the stock market on Friday, you may have seen that everything was red. We got a massively red day in the stock market as a result of retaliatory tariffs for President Trump in response to some new controls from China. I will say this time Trump didn't start it, China started it, but the response nonetheless has impacted our money. Today, this is what I wanted to tell you all. Today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, I am hosting a free investing class, okay? I want to talk to you all about how to take advantage of this next market dip. This is time sensitive, okay? This is time sensitive. I don't believe that this market drop is going to last long. Back in April, when this happened in April, when we were dealing with the reciprocal tariffs and the retaliatory tariffs and all of that, the market dropped really, really bad. And then I told my community, I told my students, I said, guys, I don't think this is gonna last long. Let's get our cash together. Let's start investing, okay? Let's start investing right now. And the people in my community greatly benefited to the tune of returns on certain stocks, 60, 50, 40%. The stock market before Friday, the stock market was up about 14% on the year. Now, after Friday, I don't know what it is, but it's not 14%. It's probably more like 12%. So the stock market is up 12% on the year, but people in my community, they have portfolios that are up 40 and 50% on the year. Why? You may want to know, why is it that people in my community are up 3 times, right? 4 times in some instances what the stock market is doing. It's not a secret, y'all. I got something in my eye. It's not a secret, and I'm going to tell you all why. The reason is those people invested in April when the market was down, okay? Would love to have you in my community. There's a link in the bio for my channel. So if you go to my channel, there's a link that says join community. All right, join community. That'll put you in my community. But look, for today, I am going to give you all the game plan to capitalize on what's about to happen in the stock market for the next week. I don't think we're going to be down too long. All right, there is a meeting that is scheduled between the president of China and the US president. I'm imagining that they're going to be able to come to some agreement to resolve this. I don't think this market dip is going to last as long as the market dip in April. So it's imperative that you join the free class tonight. I'm going to give you the game plan. I'm not just going to give you the game plan. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what we did in April. My portfolio this year is up over 50%. My portfolio this year is up 50%. All right, and my portfolio is up 50% because we invested in April. So I want you all to join the free class that I'm doing tonight. I'm going to show you what we did in April. I am going to show you the returns. I'm going to respond to that. I'm going to show you what we did in April. I'm going to show you the returns, and I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do to potentially capitalize on the second best opportunity to invest in 2025. All right, the first best opportunity was in April. Okay, we're going to get another opportunity here in October. So I'm going to talk to you about a strategy that you can use to capitalize on this next best investment opportunity. So to register for the free class, there's a link in the description of my live right now. Hit that link, register for tonight. We get started at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. Somebody says, I would say sit in cash and wait. Here's the deal. I actually think it's really important to make sure you have some cash available so that when you get the dip that you want, you have cash to invest. But you can't wait too long because we don't know how long the dip is going to last. Personally, I don't think it's going to last very long. I don't think this is going to last any longer than about 3 weeks. I don't think we're going to get into Black Friday and still have tariff talks with China. I don't think it's going to go that long. So, but to your point, you do need cash available, and it's always important to try to wait for the bottom to hit before you start investing. I just don't see this being the same type of scenario that we had in April. First of all, there are no definitive new tariffs that have been established. All right, this is just a response to some threats from China. Second of all, this is impacting the entire world with trillions of dollars at stake, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that type of conflict. So we're going to talk about this more in detail tonight at 4. The link to register for the class tonight, it's in the description here. We're going to talk about how to capitalize on this next best investment opportunity for 2024. The problem with the bottom is when it goes down and back up and further down. Yeah, the market doesn't just move in one direction, right? So if we're trending down, it doesn't just go straight down. It goes down and it comes up and then it goes down. So you got like a drop. You get a little bit of a base, which is a sideways or a slightly up movement. Then you drop again. That's true. Nobody knows, right? It could be that at the beginning of last week, we seen the top of the market. But the most important thing is to understand how the market moves and being in position to invest when great opportunities present themselves. Dr. D registered. See you at 4. Looking forward to it. It's being prepared. More than anything, being prepared is important, but being informed and understanding how these macroeconomic things impact the stock market for now. So tonight, 4 o'clock, we're gonna talk about what's happening right now. We're gonna talk about how to position yourself to potentially benefit. We're gonna talk about what we did in April. I just took some screenshots. Yeah, Julia, there's a link. Yep. Thank you, Dr. Diva, telling her there's a link in the description to register at 4 o'clock. I took some screenshots before I came on here of some of the returns that I have of the stocks that I invested in April. Okay. This is with the massive drop on Friday. So I'm going to tell you some of the returns. I'm up like 70% on NVIDIA. I'm up 60% on Palantir. I am up about 60% up 40% on Vertiv, VRT, up 40% on VST. I don't even like Apple, and I bought Apple because it was a good price. I'm up 25% on Apple since April. So, and I'm going to show you the screenshots. I'm going to show you the screenshots from my account so you can see it. The reason why I'm up so much right now is because we invested in April. So we're going to game plan on how to take the same strategy from April. We're going to apply it to October so that you can invest when you get some good value. Here's the thing. It's 4 p.m. Eastern. So that's 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern. Here's the thing. It's been really, really hard to find good value in the stock market this year because it seems like every week we're climbing to all-time highs. Every single week, it's another all-time high. It's another all-time high. Well, what does that mean? It means that when we invest, we're investing at a higher price than we would at some point in the past. Investing at all-time highs is tricky because we don't know if we're going to continue to push higher or if we're going to drop lower. If you look at the statistics, you're more likely to drop when you invest at all-time highs than you are to go higher. And if you do go higher, there's a smaller potential gain that you have to go higher because we've never been there before. We've never traded at those prices before. So investors are hesitant. They're uncertain. Right? They don't know how much higher above all-time highs we can go. Prices below all-time highs we're familiar with, okay? So that's why we like to invest when we get pullbacks in the market, okay? So we're getting a pullback right now. We got a massive pullback on Friday. And for those who missed it, what happened on Friday, hey Jacqueline, thanks for joining. What happened on Friday was, so China produces what's called rare earths. These rare earths are used in every piece of technology that we use, not just in the US, but everywhere in the world. Everybody uses these things. China produces about 70% of them. China comes out and says, hey, we've been pretty generous in how we've given the world access to these rare earths. And you know what? I think we need to do some things differently. I think that this is from the perspective of China, okay? China says, I think we need to do some things differently. I think that we need more benefit to allowing you all to use these minerals that only we produce, or we produce the most of. Well, the US didn't like that. President Trump didn't like that. So he said, okay, y'all want to play hardball? We're going to play hardball back. We're going to institute a new 100% tariff on any Chinese imports in response to you all making it harder to access the rare earths. The stock market didn't like that, y'all. Literally from the point that this news came out, the market dropped and everything on the market went red. And so there's a lot of uncertainty. The thing that made this worse is that this happened on Friday, okay? So if you've ever worked in corporate, if you've ever worked in the news or PR, the worst time to try to advertise something is on Friday because nobody's looking, nobody's watching, nobody's listening. we're ready to go slide into the weekend, right? So if there's ever news that you want to bury, or if you ever have bad news to communicate, you communicate it on Friday afternoons because nobody's watching. Well, Monday, everybody is going to see this news and everybody is going to freak out. So the market is going to respond negatively on Monday as well. I'm going to make sure I'm trading options on Monday, and I'm going to be looking for puts. So the market will continue to drop. Here's the thing. We don't want to overreact. We don't want to panic sell. We want to look for our investing opportunities so that we can go into the end of the year, into the new year with some amazing gains. And if we do this right, you all, if we do this the right way, we will really, really be happy with our portfolios at the end of the year. So I'm going to give you all the strategy, talk to you about what we did in April, okay? So that's today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. The link to this class is free, by the way. This is free, all right? The link to register for this class is in the description of this live. So let me look. I know I got some comments in here. I want to respond, y'all. Got people registering. Awesome. Link to register is in the description. All right. Awesome. Soul Power to Outcast just registered. All right. Look forward to seeing y'all. Freddie, welcome. Freddie, welcome. All right. But yeah, y'all. So that's the announcement. Any questions? Look, before I jump off of here, any questions? Any questions that I can answer for y'all? Any questions? Look, if there are no questions, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes, but make sure you're on today at 4 o'clock. That link is in the description. Michelle, hopefully I pronounced that right. Please forgive me if I pronounced it wrong. Thank you for the love for my family. My daughter's doing much better. They are hoping that we can leave this week. So we may be out of the hospital in the next few days. Really looking forward to that. Look, the hospital has become our high-rise condo, okay? We have a nice view, a small and intimate space, okay? We get room service, all right? I can laugh and smile now. My daughter's doing a lot better. Much harder to smile and laugh weeks ago. But happy to be able to smile now. What stocks are you looking at to invest? With this market dip, let me tell y'all, so with the market dip, I don't get fancy, right? I don't get cute, all right? I have a list of stocks that I like, that I really, really like in my portfolio. There are about 10 of them. When the market is dipping, I'm just buying those 10 stocks because I know those 10 stocks are the ones that are changing the world. The ones that I like the most, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Tesla, Taiwan Semiconductor, Amazon. I'm just giving you those 5. We're going to talk more about those this evening. So you join tonight, I give you more info. Somebody was asking about joining my community earlier. I actually have a stock watch list for my community. For when these dips happen, we can just go to the stock watch list and invest in those companies because we're getting those companies at a really, really good price. And it's like, all right, we got a dip. What do we buy? Go to the watch list. Buy what's on the watch list. And that's one of the biggest values to being a part of my community. So as we get this dip that's coming up, we're going to the watch list. Oh, perfect. Glad I said that right. Do you have a video for beginners in investing? I'm just starting. Yes. So the conversation we're going to have tonight at 4, I think Soul Power to Outcast, I think you already registered. So that is a conversation for beginners. I also do a beginners free investing class on Thursdays. You're welcome to join that. There's a link in my channel description to join that. I also teach a free I teach a free beginners investing class. It's about an hour and a half every Thursday. And then I have a 5-week investing program for beginners as well. You can find the link to the 5-week investing program um, in the description also. Um, Paul, they're not all Mag 7. Um, like I just mentioned a second ago, I'm not a big Apple guy. Some Mag 7s I like more than others. Like I like Tesla, I like Nvidia, I like Microsoft, I like Amazon. Those are the 4 of the Mag 7s that I like the most. But the other ones, they're not Mag 7. I'm gonna talk about some of those tonight. Yep, the top 7 move the entire market. They make up 40% of the market. He's exactly right. Thank you, Michelle, for those kind words. Thank you. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Look, link to today at 4 in the show description. Thanks, LJ. Make sure y'all are on there. Tonight's going to be a great conversation. Really, really looking forward to it. We are going to talk about the basics for those that are beginners. If you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for this conversation, we will absolutely just talk about some basics. I'll teach you, the basics of stocks and how you make money, why they're important, why you need to be invested in the stock market. We will cover all of that. All right. So even if you're a beginner, there's space for you in this conversation. Any more questions? All right, guys. Look forward to seeing y'all again today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all have a happy Sunday. See you this afternoon.